Hey YouTube, Kiraqualia here, bringing you guys another one of my Cardfight Vanguard market price watch videos. Been about another month since I last did one of these, and I thought I need some catching up to do because a lot has gone up and fluctuated since the last video with the announcement of a lot of different support for cards and getting closer to GBT13 Ultimate Stride and the Link Joker Rondu booster pack coming out. A lot of cards have reached ultimate highs, so let's go ahead and go through the video. Alright, starting off we have Son of Eternity Amaterasu. This card has been up there for a good while now, and it has already broken the $30 range. I think in my last video I discussed that this card was at $30. We're looking at $40, and there's only a couple of these left for sale on TCG. And basically this card is just staple in all the Oracle Think Tank decks. Battle Sisters have been actually topping a couple regionals, so we're seeing a lot of play with this and that deck, that's for sure. And just, you know, as a good backup for your other strides that you run in the deck, it's, like I said, staple. You don't have to unflip for it like some of the other better G Guardians. You could run it at a 3 of in the deck just for, you know, its consistent 10k shield. That's probably one of the easiest shields to obtain in the game, and you know, it's a justifiable price since it was a triple rare in the We Are Trinity Dragon set. Now, if you want to talk insane prices, I have never seen a triple rare, you know, stagger to such a price as Gluttony Dogma these past couple days. This card, since, you know, the full reveal of all the Tachikaze support, and, you know, the support is really, really good, and it's just crazy that a card would, you know, retain this value, not just from a buyout, but from multiple, you know, people. This is a card you need to run 4 of in a deck, guaranteed, and it's sitting at this price range. You know, I don't know if you would be able to move them for these prices. I don't know if they have moved for these prices or if this is just people, you know, overvaluating. We might see them hopefully go down very soon. But this card's not confirmed reprint either, making it just that more difficult for a set that is out of print now. $75 on average for a card, meaning at least, you know, almost $300 for, you know, a playset of this card is insane. Totally insane. Dragonic Vanquisher, this is the original Dragonic Vanquisher, sitting down the single price range just because this card is not used in the Vanquisher deck really anymore. With the new Descendant grade 3 and the new Vanquisher being your main grade 3 lineup, this card is really just there for people who can't afford or find the new support to run as backup or main. Like I said, the new, in the last video I'm sure I went over this, the new Vanquisher is much, much better than this one for the deck. So like I said, most people will end up getting rid of these, meaning it floods the market and a lot more people have these for sale, just decreasing the value. Exceptional Expertise, Rising Nova. Spike Brothers getting new support in the next booster pack. Now, the one thing I've noticed that, you know, determines what a grade 3 break stride, was what I like to call them, price is really, you know, the support we get in the upcoming pack. And Exceptional, the new Rising Nova we received is a double rare, I believe, and it also is a Vanguard or Rearguard effect, which it complements the Vanguard as backup. It doesn't replace it as the new grade 3, which is why this card retains a high value, mostly because he will remain as your main Vanguard in the deck, meaning the other Rising Nova will most likely just be backup. This has happened with the Tachikaze grade 3 Gaia, meaning his price stayed up there while the double rare one was a little cheaper. Situations where this is reversed, which we'll get to in a little bit. Stillwater, Festival Deity Ichikishima. This card was single digits. Now it's almost hitting the $20 range. Staple, once again, a 4 of in every OTT deck. This pack's not out yet, too, so if you're looking to pick up some of those booster packs, definitely, you know, take the gamble. You might pull this card. Either you need it or, you know, good trade bait for people who are still looking for it. It's, you know, it changed the whole Oracle Think Tank deck. It made it completely meta. The deck's been topping a lot more, depending on if you're running Susanoo or Battle Sisters. This card definitely makes all OTT decks much more playable. Black Seraph Gabriel. Now this card, Angel Feather is getting new support in Ultimate Stride as well. So this card has gone up in price. It's one of the, you know, go-to strides for the deck. A good rescue effect on the attack step. So You have a good pressure card for your damage triggers. Definitely a card you need for the deck. That hasn't changed. So that hyped up price is justified. Plus, set 7, it feels like it was just here yesterday, but it is turning into a pretty old pack. One that, probably isn't as easily found anymore. So I can see a lot of cards, if needed, from this pack going up in price later down the road. Now, what I was talking with earlier with the Rising Nova is the basically the scenario that happened with Dragonic Vanquisher, where the new version of the card kind of outclasses the old version. But this is a double scenario, since with the Gurguit card, you do like to run both, just because there are different situations where this card is viable, meaning that his double call effect and rearguard guardian effect helps with a lot of good situations, but the other older Gurguit is also pretty there as well, with its ability for the superior guard from the top of the deck effect. Now, what makes these cards different is this being more expensive is because you have to pull this one basically from a booster pack to get the support, meaning this price change on this card is more up there, where the original Gurguit was in a booster pack, but it also came out in a starter deck, so much easier to obtain the first Gurguit, meaning this one kind of, outmatched it in the price. Seeing the $20 range, the Gurguit support does look crazy. We're getting a quadruple drive, along with having already 2 Gurguit strides, meaning you can max out on Gurguit strides in the G-Zone. It'll be a very fun deck as well, and hopefully pretty competitive too, depending on all that I've seen with the deck. Now these are some cards, I'll talk about a couple of these that you might want to invest in, ones that haven't changed too much in price, but we are getting a Stargate booster pack, and Grand Gallop has been confirmed support. So if you have these or are looking to pick them up, I would definitely grab them now before they shoot up. This is basically the same scenario as the Amaterasu G Guardian. The pack is very difficult to find now, meaning that getting these will be more difficult, so you can definitely see them shoot up in price if the Grand Gallop support we get is really, really good for the deck, which, Dimension Police always breaks through and surprises all their fans when it comes to the support that they receive. So I can see that we will not be disappointed with the Grand Gallop support either. Same with the Garmor support. We're actually getting more support for this deck as well. I think we're getting a grade 3 that has an effect when you stride over it. So these triple rare cards that were originally, I think, dollar range have shot up as well. There's a good amount of them on there. Those of you who picked them up early for your love of Garmor probably found it very easy and very happy to have these priced, even if you stocked up on a couple of these. So consider yourself lucky. If you want the deck, I don't think they'll move too much, because it's one of those decks where it is pretty budget to build, meaning, these prices won't be too extreme. They might change if the deck does really well at regionals. I guess we'll have to see how those high beast cards really play into the deck as a whole. Another crazy boost with Battle Sisters is Battle Sister Cocotte. I saw this card jump up after my last price video and saw that it actually is holding on to that price. This card has been in the $20 range for a good couple weeks now. And it's staple in the deck. It's early game pressure, and it's pretty much, the pack is guaranteed out of print. And this card did not see a reprint in any of the newer packs with Battle Sisters. So if you had this playset and held on to it, good for you. You didn't get rid of it when you thought, oh, I'm not going to run this card in the deck. I didn't really need it at the time. But hey, it's the early game pressure, and that what makes a lot of decks, especially with Battle Sisters, who don't run too many GB effects to begin with. Now moving on to a couple of Kagero cards as well, we have Protect Orb Dragon. Oops, we gotta get that out of the way there. We have Protect Orb Dragon. This card is the main go-to perfect guard for the Zygenberg deck. Now with this, you could run the new +15 shield Dumb Jude that we got, but this is unflip power, which is required for a lot of counterblast heavy abilities in the Kagero deck. I think we also saw that highly bought out with this card. Protect Orb's always been all over the place. Plus, we've also seen the reveal for more Overlord support, which would move a lot of the Kagero support, including this card, just because Overlord's not too specific with all of its units, so meaning this card is definitely one to grab for that and the Zygenberg deck, or Blade Master, whichever you want to call it. And same with Denial Griffin. It's pretty much like the Amaterasu G-Guardian staple for the deck, too good for the G-Guard ability. $20 price range for this G-Guard, what it's looking like. Like I said, Overlord support, and the Blade Master deck is doing very well right now. So a justified price, going back to what I said about set 7 as well. Seabreeze, a really quick one here. Pretty much, I've actually seen a pattern where this card goes up during regionals, just because there are people who need these for the regional tournaments. Most fun players who want to fill out their whole stride zone just go for the fun of the clan that they're using. But with, coming with the competitive format around the corner, people do tend to pick up more of the staple cards, which this is a staple card in all decks for regionals, depending on what you go up against. Now that is what causes these cards to shoot up in price at those times. Plus the Fighters Collection 2016 is a pretty old set right now, so cards like Dismal, Screw You, and Seabreeze are all the harder to get because of it. Another Kagero, Dragonic Burnout. The Overlord support was confirmed. A lot of really good cards, and Burnout's always been one of those good cards for the deck, so you can't go wrong here. Excuse me. With this card, easy early game Soul Blast power. You don't even have to have a Vanguard with Overlord. You just choose an Overlord from your drop zone. With the Conroe, Superior Search and Drop, easy to get an Overlord in your graveyard and make use of this kill. It did come out in a promo, which is a cheaper version, but if you want the holo versions, definitely the price increase there. Going on to some gen rares now. Original Deleter Igorg. This card, we're getting Deleter support and Link Joker support this Friday coming up. This card's crazy price increase. You need it for the Deleter deck. It is your staple stride to go to for the game wins. It's just so much easier to get off that ability now. So this card being $60 price range. If you find a pack, I've actually seen some pretty good price Vanguard and Deleter boxes. I think I've seen them in the $30 range. If you see those boxes and want to go for it, 2 boxes to risk getting one of these would definitely be worth it in the end, especially if you're ending up building Deleters. It really is your choice in the end if you want to risk it for 2 boxes or go for this grab. There are other good Deleter cards that you could possibly pull out of this set as well. So for all I say, go for it. It could be worth it for you. Obaterandis Mega Colony support in the Zoo booster pack. I'm really excited to see how these Zoo and Stargate booster packs will do as well, just because we're getting support just for one clan, and Mega Colony especially will be getting some pretty powerful stuff with their new Darkface stride. So Obaterandis will be staple in the deck just because of its amazing ability to prevent your opponent from calling cards. So it's stuck around the $25 range. I can see it slowly creeping up now, so if you need them, grab them now because they're only going to go up the closer we get to that set. VMAX, the Vanquisher deck is still going hot with all the support you need for the deck. This single G-Rare, which doesn't really require a flip for it, but you still need, multiples of this for that damage ability, which is very good in the deck. I think this card was actually $12 last I checked, but it really shot up after the release of set 12, so pretty crazy. I mean, this game is just insane when it comes to value changes, that's for sure. Last one for the Kagero on this list is Supreme Heavenly Emperor Dragon Defeat Flare Dragon. Now, Overlord got support, which I'm very happy about, but the insane price increase of this G-Guardian, I think it was actually below $10 before the Overlord support got announced, and then people just rushed to buy them because it's an Overlord deck. You're going to run this card because it's a specific G-Guard, which we don't have too many of those that require for a specific kind of Vanguard. This effect to kill the whole back row is crazy. So if you have the secret gen rare version, I think that's cards a little bit more than this at the moment. I've actually never even seen one of these pulled at my locals. We only had the secret gen rare pulled, but still very good, at least 1 to 2 in every Overlord deck. Wrapping up the video with a couple of rares, Dragonic Vanquisher Voltage. This card was pretty cheap when it came out, but it's one of the easier Voltage strides to get, so people have been buying them like crazy, sticking it at a $15 card range with this card being here. I do like this art a lot more than the other Voltage stride art, but I know that the SPs of this are also a lot more pricey, but like I said, still the more reasonable one to go for if you need the Voltage Stride still for your deck. And lastly, just end on a couple of Link Joker rares. If you have these rares, go looking for them. They're up in price, not just Sacrifice Messiah, but lots of other ones as well, including cards for deleters. They're worth a couple bucks if you're looking to move them for some value. Do it now while the deck will be still hot on release date. You won't go wrong there. Same with a couple other cards you see here, like Blank Messiah, Arrestor. Yeah, some of them are confirmed for reprints in the starter deck, the trial deck, but some of these reprint ones like Blink Messiah, you only get like 1 or 2 per case, so meaning they're not extremely easy to get, which means the original ones will still be sought after for use in the deck. But that is it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed this month's Market Price Watch. Once again, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and until next time, Kiraqualia out.